Hey guys, we are going to finish up our pronunciation for just talking about our classes and describing teachers. All right, so in my previous video, we talked about saying I like, and then you list the class, or I like the class, but I prefer another class. So here we're saying the class of, name the subject, is, name an adjective, okay? So let's go over pronunciation of that. We'll say le cours de, and then you just need the subject. You don't need the le or la this time. A, and then an adjective. And here's some of our adjectives we can use. So we have répétez, facile, facile, difficile, difficile, amusant, amusant, intéressant, intéressant. And hopefully you don't think this about too many of your classes, but ennuyeux, ennuyeux. So some examples of what the sentences will look like. Le cours de français est amusant. The class of French is fun. That's literally word for word how you would translate it, but we would say French class is fun. Another example, le cours d'espagnol est difficile. Notice I did a D apostrophe because this school subject here starts with a vowel. When it starts with a vowel, they move that DE to a D apostrophe. All right? So, le cours d'espagnol est difficile. The class of Spanish is difficult. It's probably not. I'm just using it for an example. Okay? So you guys try that out on your own in the exercise for today. Refer back to these notes if you need help. Email me with questions. All right. Now, what I'm sure you guys are very excited to do, talk about your teachers. So you put a name of a teacher, and instead of Mr. and Mrs., we're going to use Madame and Monsieur. Madame and Monsieur. Okay, because that's the equivalent of Mr. and Mrs. in French. We talked about that at the beginning of the year. So we'll say so-and-so, name of teacher, est le or la prof de, and then whatever class they teach. And once again, that de is replacing the le or la. So you just need that class right here, okay? And it means so-and-so is the teacher of whatever class. You're going to use le if it's a male teacher, and la if it's a female teacher, okay? So pay attention to that, which one you're using. So some examples, Madame Reitz est la prof de français. Madame Reitz is the teacher of French. Or Monsieur Affeld est le prof de EPS. Mr. Affeld is the teacher of gym. Okay, so blank est le prof de blank. Or if you're doing feminine, blank est la prof de blank. All right, and how do you describe your teachers? You guys should recognize this. He is, il est, and then an adjective, and elle est, and an adjective. Do remember that for females, you're going to need to add what's in parentheses here to the adjectives. Okay, so keep that in mind. So some adjectives we have: gentil, gentil for kind, amusant, or if you're adding the e, amusante, intéressant, or add the e, intéressante, intelligent, intelligente. And for silly or goofy or funny, drôle, drôle. So some examples, il est drôle, elle est gentille. And here's an example too. So if you're talking about a female, add that extra E if it requires it. And for gentil, you need an extra L as well. So just pay attention to these notes when doing your exercises. And that's all.